Welcome to Creative Changers. I'm Aaron Childry. Today, I want to talk about one of my favorite series of photographs. It's called The Americans by Robert Frank, and I think that you will find it just as inspiring as I have, so let's get to it. All right, so here it is, The Americans by Robert Frank. So The Americans is a series of photographs that Robert Frank shot in 1955 while he was traveling around the entire country. He was funded by a Guggenheim Fellowship, and he used that money to travel around and just take pictures of the everyday happenings in American cities and towns. Another thing that I love about this book is that the introduction here is by Jack Kerouac, and his style is just absolutely perfect for The Americans. I'll read you a quick quote so you can just get a sense of that. So this is Jack Kerouac's introduction to The Americans, and it says, "The humor, the sadness, the everythingness and Americanness of these pictures. Tall, thin cowboy rolling butt outside Madison Square Garden, New York for rodeo season. Sad, spindly, unbelievable. Long shot of night road arrowing forlorn into immensities and flat of impossible to believe America." And it just goes on and on. And to me, this is just the perfect introduction to these photographs. So what you see in the photographs that Robert Frank took for The Americans are just everyday events that are happening in the towns that he visited. And now this is something that we see a lot of today, but he really made that, an important part of American photography. This style of documentary photography and photojournalism is definitely something that Robert Frank has had a very profound effect on. So in The Americans, you see photos of things like political rallies, jukeboxes in bars, even funerals, coffins, people just walking down the street going about their business. And all of these photos just kind of come together to make a very moving statement about who we are as Americans. And a lot of these photos in The Americans also deal with race issues and race relations, which obviously was a very contentious and important issue in the 1950s, and unfortunately is just as much of an important issue that we deal with today in 2017. So because of that, and just the themes that you see in these photographs, I believe that these photographs are just as relevant today as they were when they were taken. And in order to get this sort of capturing of these moments, Robert Frank used a handheld camera, which was very different than what a lot of people did at the time, which was to use, very large cameras that they would set up on tripods and not move. So he was moving around, capturing these moments as they happened. Because of that, the critical reception of these photographs was not very good at the time. Some of them are a little blurry and grainy because of, the newer technology that he was using. But now we can see just the profound influence that he has had on photographers who do this sort of documentary style and photojournalistic style, including myself. This series, The Americans, has definitely had an effect on the way that I shoot photographs and has been a big influence on me. So I hope that you all will take the time to check out these photographs. You can buy the book The Americans on places like Amazon, or just to get your feet wet, you can do a Google search and find some of the images there. But I think that anyone who looks at these photographs, while they might see something slightly different than the next person, I think that everyone will be moved by this series of photographs, The Americans. So thank you so much for tuning in to Creative Changers. I hope that you'll hit the like button and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Comment below and let me know what you think of The Americans by Robert Frank. If you have a favorite photograph in the series, I'd love to hear what that is, and I will talk to you all soon.